There's some soda in there on the west side. How about it?
Yeah. But they had that up on Thursday and Friday.
We're supposed to reach.
And here we are. We're at McDonald's. Yes, sir.
This my baby.
Ow! Not at me.
Get out of the way. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take everything that walks. Everything that walks and talks. I don't like to get a shot. You
I'm at the top. Right.
Is he really trying to told you what? One more. You don't want to break your camera, do you? Hi, Tina.
My boys, when they took me to the hospital, the minutes, they didn't know how I lived. My blood sugar was up to 1. When I take that needle, I went over there and I stopped taking that. The doctor gave me 3 pills. I went in the hospital. I was in there 21 days over in the hospital, and I heard the man say to my son one day, said, "We're gonna have to send your dad down late." And he said, "No. I take my daddy home and watch him one day at a time, my own self, before I send him down late." So I said, "Well, let me see. Let me send you." And he came down. You know what he come down and said to me? He said, "Mr. Cook, come check you out." They asked me to check you all over. "Where do you live?" I said, "Man, I live at 546 Merchant Street." He said, "Where you at?" I said, "He said, in a hospital." He said, "Well, where do you live?" I said, "Man, you must think I'm crazy."
There. No. Do my mom.
That was here killed me. She got allergies. So last Sunday off, St. Luke. They said it's gonna pour. No, I ain't gonna rain on the field. Don't rain bumper for you. Next game.
what they call it was the medicine house. See, he had an office next to it, and he would mix his herbs and concoctions in his medicine house. Now that's it. And people live in there.
Do you have any of his recipes?
No, that's the one thing that he never. But there is one lady here who claims she has a whole barrel full of them.
Oh, really? Yeah. You got back on him. It was like, I don't know, it was Clarence Harris. What it was, ghost towns in New Jersey, or it was something to do about New Jersey.
Yeah, Lost Town.
Lost Town.
Yeah, it's done by Beck.
Is there another book?
Well, his autobiography.
Oh, he has one? Yeah, I love it. I could get him to just get a library.
Possibly. Fortunately, people don't return stuff when you let them.
They have good retention, and you know they do.
Yeah, and
They just don't.
you know who it is. You see, oh, here, read this, you know. And then you say, who did I lend that book to? Now, where is it? I don't know.
You want to share?
And that's been so many years, I guess all of them years. But I got the picture. Have a habit where I say, some that belong to me, when you coming home. When you coming home.
Well, my father-in-law always had a book, a little like book like this, and he would keep it in his pocket. Whenever anybody bought anything, he would write when and what it was, right? And he would put it in his pocket.
Well, I wish I had done that years ago because I really got some good material, and I haven't seen it since. Most of the stuff I learned to our pastor out here for church. Oh, I guess I was 14, 15 years old. I learned our stuff. And unfortunately, he never returned it, and consequently he died. So now I don't know where it is. Well, it's not in the church. No, because I've asked everybody.
Hi, Jeanette. How are you? Oh, I'm doing. How you doing? Good.
Charlie! Happy long
Never rains, does it? Never rains.
Charlie just gave us his. A poster.
Thank you. He's Teresa one too, and one for Christian John. They're not here
Oh,
today?
they'll be here a little later on.
Oh, they're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they say they would be here.
Charles, how do you do it every year? God is good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
This morning is rainless.
Come over by yourself?
Yeah.
All right, I'll call Chris to see if she's on her way so you get a chance to speak to her.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Did Faye come down? Connecticut?
Faye's here. Yeah.
You always double. You haven't changed. Well,
The curator of the
Dad's dad. From Connecticut. Oh, I mean, you just picked my name out.
On the ground, she was a black woman, and she had to do what she had to do.
I wish I had known about that when I was doing the article, you know. And I have another book.
Well, you'll have the one for Tabs because, you know, we just finished
Tab's the old family.
No, Woodrow Tabb is my father. George Tabb is my grandfather.
You see, there's another distinguished black family come through.
It's George Tabb. Tabbs and Parker. We're mortician by trade. Now, I'm his granddaughter, George Tabb, and Mary Tabb. I'm named after Mary Tabb and Mary Dad, after the grandmother. So that's where you get the other side of the family.
That's something.
But it's all together. The name
We
Tab.
had to.
The name
Remember
Tab's
good
come
stock?
up
You
again.
remember the philosophy that you had to stick them on good stock.
Yeah,
You had to be. You couldn't be black, poor, ugly, and everything.
Yeah.
You had to basically. It was like meeting and greeting. Your father didn't have certain age.
But also that
certain time.
Mandingo influence too.
Yeah, but that was to keep the breed because you could get education, you could get more money, you could get more land, more property.
Now the Tabs, I came across that name before, Clarence. Have you seen it?
I came across the tab.
How about the Burks?
Yes. Well, Burks, yeah, I got something.
Burks.
I have something about the Burks.
You do?
And
Yes,
as soon as this is over,
Sally Steele is my great.
I want to
And Josephine Burks is
sit down
my
and get all my stuff separated.
Yeah, I just came through Haddonville and thought about you too.
If you're Quaker, you know, I was raised as a Mennonite. You know, the Mennonites took Rising Sun Baptist Church. It's in your history book. Rising Sun Baptist Church was one of those free, where they took the Indians and the blacks right across from Naval Weapons Station. That little chick, Reverend Tab, which is my uncle, he's the minister there. Okay, he's been there a long time. And you know, and you remember when the guys would come to meet in service at Fort Eustis, we would only marry or date good stock, hard workers. And you had to look a certain way, whatever. So when we went to Williamsburg, Russell Tabb with the Colonial Williamsburg, all those blacks were West Indies. That's the Tabbs, the Parkers, and whatever. They circulated.
Incredible.
So from centuries, we have interbreeded with better stock. And then, of course, the way ones didn't keep their records. So some of us have to stay. I was trying to explain to my aunt, I said, I was wondering why I could never stop being free.
No.
Like I could never be controlled.
You're chosen.
Right, you know, I do private physical therapy sitting home by myself, and I go out by myself. I couldn't belong to anybody. If you read it and know what's in it, you got it hooked up.
Good jokes and all of that. But if I could please have you quiet, and those of you who might want to could come up a little closer if you'd like to. I'm going to turn the mic over to the patriarch of our Still clan. Yes, I am. He said, no, you're not. And we're going to come to the more formal part of our kind of picnic gathering. And I'm going to give the mic now to Clem. Please give us your attention. We're going to do a couple of things. Clem's going to greet you, and he's going to introduce you to our mayor. And we're going to talk a little bit about the family history, because that's what we're here for, and that's what it's all about.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think the day turned out very nice. I know the weatherman had threatened us with some serious stuff, but looked like we were making it pretty good. And at this time, I'm going to introduce to you our mayor of this historic little town. This is a town unique in itself, one like you are not going to find any other place. And anytime you want to read some good history, read about Lawnside. And then you'll find a little more about the family history. And so at this time, I'm going to present Mayor Walter Gaines.
Thank you, Clem. Gloria. Giving honor to God, any clergy present, to the members of the Still family. He has been good to you, he's been good to us, to allow you to once more to come together, to fellowship, to reminisce, to meet and greet each other, and to continue to set your course for the future. We want to thank him for the blessings that he has bestowed upon all of us, but especially this unique family. Now, Clem spoke about this town being unique. I feel as though this family is unique. Not only this family, but all families. Because I believe that families are the center, or have been the center of our society, and we need to go back to that again. We go back to that again. As I was telling some people here before, I don't think we have the problems out in the streets today that we do have with our young people. We got to get back to family. Family, extended family, and community family. Everybody helps to look out for everybody. We've gotten away from that as a people. So until we get back to that, some of the problems we have out there are not going to be solved. But again, I'd just like to thank you for this opportunity. And on behalf of the citizens and the members of the governing body, I have a proclamation I'd like to read to you and present to you at this time. From the Office of the Mayor, designating August 13, 1989 as the Still Family Reunion Day in Lawnside. Whereas Lawnside is proud to join with the members of the Still family as they gather for their 120th reunion. And whereas the Still family gathers family members of all ages in a group celebration and tribute to their heritage, and whereas families are a very special unit, and taking the time to unite a family that has grown shows the love and concern you have for one another. And whereas this love and concern is the real meaning of the word family. Now therefore I, Walter Gaines, Mayor of the Borough of Lawnside, do hereby proclaim August 13, 1989 as the Still Family Reunion Day in the Borough of Lawnside, and do urge all citizens to congratulate this family on their special reunion. Thank you.
I'm going to present to you Gloria Still. She is a dramatic reader or docudrama and all kinds of things. And she is our spokesperson. So without any further ado, Gloria, it's you.
I'm going to say hello again. And Clem just informed me before I came up here that it absolutely would not be a day complete if we didn't talk at least a little bit about our family history. Many of us here have turned into veritable history buffs, and we've been digging up every trail and every idea and every scrap of information that we could find concerning the family. Some of us, some of our younger children especially, are here because we know that we are Stills. And I just wanted to leave with you a reminder, or to reiterate somewhat today, of what being a member of the Still family is all about. You know that we are here celebrating our 120th reunion. We celebrate this 120th reunion because 120 years ago, William and James and their siblings gathered together to thank God for having allowed them to live to see the Emancipation Proclamation become a reality. And they decided that every year they would come together again and renew their thanks to God for their family, for their country, and for all the accomplishments that had been made. And that tradition has continued for 120 years. But beyond that, it is important for us to remember, as we often as family try to tie ourselves into whether we descended from James or William or Peter or which one of the brothers we are in direct line to. The important thing to remember is the Still family in America dates back about 350 years, and that the main man, if you will, is the Guinea Prince. And he is the one from whom we all have descended, the Guinea Prince and that clan. And so, if as you seek to find your own particular family line, and you find that it doesn't lead back to James, or it doesn't lead back directly to William or Peter or one of the other better known members of the Still clan, that's okay, because the Still family does date back to that original clan. And according to the written and oral history, we figure that they landed here in South Jersey probably, I mean, it could have been at Cooper's Landing about 350 years ago. I also always like to remind us all, so that we'll remember when we get together, that the Still family doesn't just come together so that we can poke our chests out and say, we're Stills. I mean, that's a part of it. And certainly, if you're like me, when I talk to my children about how they should carry on in life, being a Still is an important part of it. But remember that with a heritage like ours, we have a responsibility to share the warmth, the love, the tradition, the passion to be free, to be good, to be the best of whatever we are with others. That's the important thing. Whenever we get to the place where we're only thinking of ourselves, then something is wrong. William James and Peter Still left books for their posterity. They also were men who dedicated their lives doing for others. And that, I think, is our message today, if there is any message, that every one of us will go out and touch somebody else, and that being a Still will not just mean that we belong to a very old and important family, but that we carry on a very old and important tradition. Thanks a bunch. Okay, now we're going to have a few very important announcements by Verlene Still. That we have a very beautiful cake here that says Still Family Reunion 120th Year, Lawnside, New Jersey. And this is baked in memory. The cake was made and decorated by his family in memory of Norris Still. By Dorina. I tell you, these Still men, they may be gone, but they're so great. And she wasn't here when we were doing the oldest and the youngest, but she is the oldest Still who is here. Where is she? Will she come up?
No, she can't do all that.
Come on.
No, she can't do all that.
Yeah, bring her on.
Roll up. But don't ask her to dance, because she's tired.
Okay. Here comes 90 years of wisdom, folks.
Take it easy.
This is what the Still family is all about. Caring about all of our family, the youngest and the oldest.
Little Emily Bryan was Emily Still a long time ago. That's about the only thing.
Well, praise the Lord, and thank you. Okay. Uncle Clem has asked me to read The Last Whipping. That was written by the Dean of Black Writers, Langston Hughes. And he wrote a series of stories about Just Be Simple. The simple stories are well known and well loved in the black community. And this one that talks about how Jesse received his last whipping is one of my favorites. The Last Whipping. When I went by his house on Sunday morning to pick up my Kodak that he had borrowed, Simple was standing in the middle of the floor in his shirt tail, imitating a minister, winding up his Sunday morning sermon, gestures and all. He intoned, Well, I looked up and I saw a great beast. That great beast had his jaws wide open, ready to clamp down on my immortal soul. And I tell you that I know that he clamped, my soul would escape and go to glory, so I was not afraid. My body was afraid, because I didn't want to get my behind lost that morning, but my soul was not afraid. You really give a good imitation of a preacher, I said. But come on and get dressed, and let's go. Since you say you left my Kodak at Joyce's, I didn't stop by here to hear you preach. I'm saying that to say this, said Simple, because that is the place in the sermon where my old Aunt Lucy jumped up shouting, leaped clean across the pulpit rail, and started preaching herself right along with the minister. She hollered, "No! Hallelujah, no! It cannot tear your soul! Sometimes the devil comes in human form!" yelled Aunt Lucy. "Sometimes the devil be born right in your family, and if you ain't careful, he'll be forced to tear his hide before he can tear your soul." Now, Aunt Lucy was talking about me that morning when she said devil. That's what I started to tell you. Talking about you? Why? Because I had been up to some devilment, and Aunt Lucy had said she was going to whoop me come Monday morning. Now, my Aunt Lucy was so Christian, though she would not whip nobody on a Sunday. So what had you done? I had just taken one of her best laying hens and give it to a girl who didn't even belong to our church to roast for her Sunday picnic. Because this girl said she was aiming to picnic me. And you know, I wanted that girl to have something good to put in her basket. So I was trying to jive her and all that stuff. And so I just took one of Aunt Lucy's hens and I give it to her. Well, why didn't you pick a pullet that wasn't laying? Man, that hen was the biggest, fattest chicken in the pen, because I wanted that girl to have plenty to pull out of her basket at that picnic, so folks would make a great big migration over her and me. Well, how did your Aunt Lucy find out about the hen? Well, man, you know woman folks can't keep no secrets. That girl told another girl, the other girl told her cousin told her mama told Aunt Lucy, and Aunt Lucy woke me up Sunday morning with a whip in her hand. Well, weren't you too old to be whipped by then? Course I was too old to be whipped. 16, going on 17 years old, I was big as an ox. But Aunt Lucy, see, she ain't figured that I was too old to be whipped yet. What'd you say when you saw that switch? Oh, I got all mannish, man. I said, Aunt Lucy, you know, you ain't gonna whip me. You ain't gonna whip me no more. I's a man, Aunt Lucy, and you ain't whipping me. And Aunt Lucy said, yes, I is too, Jess. I will whoop you till you is grown enough to know how to act like a man, not just look like one. Now, you know you ain't had no business snatching my hen off her nest and giving it to that low-life hussy what had no better sense than to take it. Were this not Sunday, I would whale you within an inch of your life before you could get out of that bed. So, what did you do? Well, what I did was, I just decided that I didn't care what she said, and I just rose on up in that bed and put my hand up on my hip, and I swelled my chest up, and I just walked on up to her. And Aunt Lucy looked at me, and the next thing I know, she had great big tears coming out of her eyes, and they was rolling down her cheeks. And she said, Jess, oh, Jess, I don't believe what I'm saying. Here you is, as big as you is, and I done raised you and did everything I could for you, Jess. And you standing up there, my you do? Well, man, I tell you, I bent over. Because see, when I saw that Aunt Lucy was crying, she was crying, man. Aunt Lucy was crying about me. And I know that I'm bigger than she is, but when I realized that she was crying because she cared about me, well, I just went on and bent over. Because I tell you something, man, no matter what happens in life, when folks cares for you and when they cries for you, it can straighten out your soul.
Come on up, because the cake looks very good from here. I like to play this.